Welcome everyone to Ryan's Hollywood Uncovered. I am Ryan. Today we will step into a dramatic journey together where the glittering glamour of classic Hollywood hides shadows so deep it's hard to believe. Our story revolves around Peggy Lipton, the woman once seen as the sex symbol of a generation, with her ash blonde hair and captivating hippie style on screen. But behind that radiant smile and cool image was a soul wounded from very early on, where a childhood tragedy stole her voice and sense of self, pushing her into journeys of seeking validation no one could have expected. If you want me to explore more about any other movie, TV series, or Hollywood secret, comment right below. But for now, like and subscribe to the channel so we can start the main journey of this video. From Runway to Spotlight. Peggy Lipton was born with the full name Margaret Ann Lipton on August 30th, 1946 in New York City into a middle-class Jewish family. Her father, Harold Lipton, was a corporate lawyer with roots from Russian Jewish immigrants. Her mother was born in Ireland with parents who were Jewish from Latvia. On the surface, that seemed like a safe and stable start. But right from her earliest years, fate had prepared a wound for Peggy that no child should ever have to bear. When she was very young, Peggy had to endure a horrifying betrayal from someone in the family, an uncle who crossed every moral boundary a child should be protected from. The consequences did not stop at that moment. It almost stole her future, erased her voice, and shattered her sense of self. Peggy became deeply introverted, withdrawing from the world around her, and developed a stutter. She was no longer the energetic, radiant little girl. Instead, she carried a silent shadow, an invisible pain that would later seep into every relationship and decision she made. This was the root of the inner demons she would wrestle with throughout her life, not because she was weak, but because that wound was too big and too early. Peggy's mother, a woman with an artistic soul, recognized her daughter's deep pain and encouraged her to explore acting as a way to heal, to find the voice she had lost. Her father had a more practical view, pushing his daughter toward modeling in hopes it would bring clear stability and success. At age 15, Peggy signed with Ford Models and quickly became a successful teenage model in New York. Her photos appeared in fashion magazines. She had the looks many people envied, tall, sexy, with perfect features and natural appeal. But Peggy felt angry and empty about the work. She hated the feeling of being turned into an object, having to shape her body and emotions to fit artificial standards the fashion industry imposed. That pressure felt like a constant reminder of the loss of control she had experienced as a child, and it pushed her even further from herself. When the family moved to Los Angeles the year Peggy turned 18, she saw it as a chance to start over. The sunny city, the glittering Hollywood opportunities, and the vibrant lifestyle seemed like an antidote to the ghosts from the East Coast. She quickly settled into the new life, with casting calls, new relationships, and a freer atmosphere. But the darkness from the past still lurked inside, waiting for the moment to return and tear her apart when she least expected it. She soon landed her first contract with Universal Pictures. In 1965, at age 19, Peggy made her television debut with a guest role in John Forsythe's show. Then came small roles in Bewitched, the series about a witch living among humans, and an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Hour about invaders in Virginia. She also appeared in the FBI series. She even got a chance with Disney for The Wonderful World of Color with 2 episodes. However, the collaboration did not last. Disney, with the family-friendly image Walt Disney had built, seemed to feel that Peggy's emerging style, a bit wild and craving freedom, did not quite fit the wholesome values they wanted to promote. That was an early sign her path would not be filled with easy, safe stories. Alongside acting, Peggy nurtured another passion: music. In 1968, she released a cover single of Laura Nyro's song Stony End. Her version reached number 121 on the Billboard 200 chart. Not the big success Barbra Streisand's later version would become, but it showed her versatile talent. She also covered Donovan's Wear Your Love Like Heaven, and her version made the top 40 non-rock on Record World. That same year, she released the album Peggy Lipton, with recordings produced by Ed, and it received positive attention. Later, in 2013, she re-released all the songs from her first album through OD Records, proving music remained an essential part of her journey.
Mod Squad and the Wild Years.
But the real turning point in acting came when Peggy Lipton's name became immortal. In 1968, she was cast as Julie Barnes in the Mod Squad, the groundbreaking TV series that would define the decade and her career. The Mod Squad was about 3 rebellious young people rejected by society and recruited to become television's first undercover police team. Michael Cole played Pete Cochran, the handsome long-haired guy from a wealthy family, arrested while trying to steal a car to show his disappointment with his parents. Clarence Williams III was Lincoln Hayes from a crowded family of 15 arrested during a riot. Peggy Lipton was Julie Barnes, the vulnerable woman, a yellow bird with a broken wing, arrested for vagrancy while trying to escape her mother's strict control. The 3 were given a harsh choice: serve time for their crimes or join the secret task force to fight crime from inside. Their advisor convinced them to form a team, and so the first hippie police squad on TV was born. They could infiltrate places traditional police could not reach, because their different, unconventional look made criminals less suspicious. Who would suspect hippies? The series was one of the boldest works marking the counterculture era. It came out before Easy Rider and bravely went against traditional beliefs at a time when that was not popular. The series boldly tackled domestic violence, illiteracy, life in the slums, anti-war philosophy, illegal protests, immigration issues, and many other pressing social problems. It was sensational, topical, and revolutionary, perfectly reflecting the chaotic spirit of the late 60s. Peggy Lipton brought a special, unmistakable flavor to the series. With her straight, smooth, ash-blonde hair, slim figure, and long legs often shown under short skirts, she quickly became the standard for beauty of that era. Fans copied her hairstyle, mini dresses, bell-bottoms, and love beads, and were drawn to the image of the new girl, free, sexy, and full of appeal. Peggy became the true it girl of the time, and she was proud of the image she created. But behind the dazzling success on screen were secrets and pain she had carried for a long time. Peggy was known by the nickname Man-Eater, the woman who had complex relationships with many male stars, not caring if they were married or not, as long as they were ready for some fun. That was her way of seeking the connection and validation she had lost in childhood. One notable relationship was with Jack Carter, a New York State executive. He did crazy things, even crossing legal lines just to pay her rent and hospital bills. He even tried to help her start a business. His obsession with the young star was obvious. When she was 19, Paul McCartney let his feelings override all sense of decency when he met Peggy. The two had a romantic relationship when Paul came to the United States. The notable part is that Paul still had Jane Asher waiting for him in England at the time. According to rumors, meeting Peggy for private moments became part of the musician's routine every time he set foot in America. Elvis Presley was also a notable name on Peggy's list of men. But according to what she shared later, she did not think highly of the king of rock and roll's performance in bed. Elvis lacked the wild flavor Peggy craved at that time. And then there was Terrence Stamp. While working on a project, Peggy met Terrence and fell deeply for him. That led to a relationship, and according to some sources, it extended to Terrence's brother, Christopher Stamp, as well. They left their mark on her life in a way that made the public whisper. She also had connections with Ryan O'Neal and Sammy Davis Jr. There were rumors about a relationship with Tig Andrews, who played her advisor in the Mod Squad. Although there was no definitive proof of an affair, they were quite close, and Tig later admitted he had learned a lot from Peggy as an actor and that she had influenced him deeply. Despite the wild side in her late teens and early 20s, Peggy still managed to hold on to her career with an iron grip. She did not let the negative things completely destroy the path she was building. But all that behavior of seeking escape through sex and stimulants did not come from a happy place. It hid the childhood trauma few people knew about, a pain that had erased her voice and sense of self. Her life from her teenage years into early adulthood was a silent cry for help, a way to fight harsh reality and cope with pain she did not know how to heal. Stimulants kept the demons at bay, but never truly banished them. When the darkness returned, it tore her apart from the inside and nearly swallowed her spirit. That was Peggy Lipton at the peak of her fame with the Mod Squad. A star with a perfect image on screen, but inside, a woman struggling with her past and inner demons. She added a special emotional depth to the series, turning Julie Barnes into a character that reflected part of herself, a vulnerable girl trying to escape and find safety. The series' success did not come only from the bold social messages it delivered, but also from how the three lead actors, Peggy Michael Cole and Clarence Williams III, created a perfect team where rebellion and fragility blended naturally in a way no one could have expected. She also had a brother who pursued a Hollywood life, though not as famous as his sister. He was an actor and got a guest role in the Mod Squad. The two siblings also appeared together in an episode of Mr. Novak. Later, he continued with supporting and guest roles in series like The X-Files, trying his best to leave his mark in entertainment, even while living in the shadow of his more successful sister. When the series ended, Peggy had become a phenomenon, but she also started to feel afraid. She worried the role of Julie Barnes would trap her in the image of the vulnerable hippie girl, and that playing a TV role too long would hurt her serious acting skills. During filming of the Mod Squad, she was even hesitant to audition for other projects, fearing she would be forever stuck in that mold. That was a fear many young stars faced when success came too fast and too strong. Love, family, and heartbreak. And then in 1969, during a boat trip with friends in the Bahamas, Peggy met Quincy Jones, the legendary composer and producer. She fell for him at first sight. But at that time, Quincy was still married to his second wife. The two would meet again 2 years later when Quincy had divorced. Peggy moved in with him, and soon after, she got pregnant. For the first time, they had to make a painful decision, but they learned their lesson. The second time she got pregnant, they chose to keep the baby. Their first daughter, Kidada Jones, was born and later became a fashion icon. This was an interesting coincidence. The mother who once hated modeling with a passion now had a daughter who followed that path and succeeded brilliantly. Quincy then faced a serious health issue with a brain aneurysm and had to undergo surgery. He survived, and the two officially married in a marriage that caused great controversy at the time when interracial marriages were not yet widely accepted. Peggy did not care what people said. After giving birth to her second daughter, Rashida Jones, she decided to pause her acting career to raise her children properly. Family became her top priority. But life away from the spotlight was not as easy as she thought. The darkness her previous busyness had helped push back now crept back in. When her husband was often away for work, Peggy reactivated her wild side. She had affairs this time not only with men. She met and connected with a woman. But the darkness still did not go away. Peggy started having panic attacks. In 1984, she completely broke down. She was consumed by inner pain, but still did not let it completely destroy herself. She decided to leave the marriage with Quincy after 12 years. The two parted over irreconcilable differences, but maintained their friendship and even worked together on their daughter's show later. Legacy and final lessons. After healing, Peggy returned to acting and appeared in some movies and TV series. One of her most iconic roles was in Twin Peaks, the mystery series where she was hired for her real acting talent, not for any other image. She continued working hard even after being diagnosed with colon cancer in 2004. She quickly underwent chemotherapy and did not let the illness stop her work. She worked until her final film in 2017. The cancer had ravaged her body, and although she had conquered it once, her body was not strong enough to do it again. Peggy Lipton passed away, leaving behind a legacy of memories, acting skills awards, and two successful daughters, Kidada and Rashida Jones. In 2017, before the disease returned strongly, Peggy had the chance to work with one of her daughters, Rashida Jones, in an episode of Untitled Chapter. She played the mother on screen. What's even more interesting is that the episode was filmed on the same soundstage where Peggy and her co-stars had filmed The Mod Squad many decades earlier. That was a deeply emotional, full-circle moment, as if life was closing a loop. Her daughter was not the only family member pursuing a Hollywood life. Peggy Lipton's story leaves us with many profound lessons. First, childhood trauma, if left unresolved, will follow us throughout life, affecting every relationship and decision. Her use of sex and stimulants as coping mechanisms is a warning about the consequences of burying pain instead of facing it. Second, family and love can be the most powerful healing force, but they also require balance. Her decision to pause her career to raise her children was noble, but the darkness returning when her husband was away shows we cannot neglect our own mental health for the sake of others. Third, fame and Hollywood glamour can hide the deepest shadows. Peggy was a sex symbol, but she was also a victim of the very traumas she carried. Her career proves that even the brightest stars have dark chapters, and true strength lies in the ability to get back up after every fall. Fourth, resilience and the ability to heal are real. Peggy went through childhood tragedy, complex relationships, a broken marriage, the 1984 panic attacks, and cancer. Yet she still found purpose in her role as a mother and in her later roles. She worked with her daughter in Angie Tribeca in 2017 on the very stage where she once filmed The Mod Squad, a deeply moving full-circle moment. That is proof of the power of family and second chances. Finally, her story reminds us that life is not about avoiding suffering, but about how we face it and grow from it. If you are carrying unhealed wounds, seek help. If you are weighing career against family, remember both are important, and taking care of yourself is not selfish. Thank you all for joining me on this journey of uncovering buried secrets. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment which Hollywood figure you want me to explore next. See you in the next videos. Wishing you a great day, and always cherish the people around you as well as yourself.